$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Spend less time in the laundry room and more time doing the things you love. Introducing the Samsung Smart Top Load Laundry Pair, now available at Lowe's. The washer's large capacity means you can fit more in every load. Plus, its super speed setting washes a full load in only 28 minutes. Shop the smart washer that will streamline laundry day, backed by Lowe's Price Promise. Based on using super speed on a normal cycle with an 8-pound load. Terms apply. See Lowe's.com/price promise for details. U.S. only.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your wages are being garnished. We can stop that now. It's hard enough to pay your bills when things are good, let alone when a big chunk of your take-home pay is gone before you even get your check. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, and I can stop the garnishment and get the creditors off your back immediately, often the same day as our consultation. Both Chapter 7 and 13 provide bankruptcy relief, but choosing the right chapter is crucial. In a free consultation, we can create a plan to get your finances back under your control. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. And if you want to listen to us wherever you go, well, you can do it right there on your smartphone. That's right. You got an Android, you got an iPhone? Well, then you've got radio.com. Get the app. Don't forget you can get us on your Comcast Xfinity. You can get us there. If you got one of those fine smart speakers like, an Echo or a HomePod or an iPod Home, Google Play Home thing. If you got a computer.
In my living room.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you got a computer, you can get us. Just go to radio.com. The idea is radio.com. Oh, yeah. You can listen to KISW wherever you go.
Let's play B-Migs.
It's time to play the game.
Yeah.
So everybody scream his name. B-Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa, B-Migs, you're a loser.
It is time to beat Migs, and it's time to get it pumped up for Monday. Nice, double bass. Try it. Come on, get pumped up. Can't do it. Stop thinking about that other game.
Because in this game, there won't be overtime.
Okay.
Wow, there's a silver lining I didn't expect this morning. I feel so much better, Rev. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
You're the best. Yeah, let's just talk about this game right now, and you can talk about the other game later.
Okay, that's not how it, but okay.
Let's get to our contestant today. We've got Chris in Auburn. Chris, are you there?
I'm here.
Excellent. Steve, get out of here. Goodbye. For those playing at home, Chris will have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. Chris, you can pass all you want, but you will only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Ready.
In the video game of the same name, how many lines must one clear at one time to successfully achieve a Tetris?
4.
Yes. What popular spirit can be made from potatoes?
Vodka.
Yes. The first episode of Supermarket Sweep aired in what decade?
80s.
No.
90s.
No.
60s?
Yes. How many months end in the letter R?
3, 4, 5.
4, yes. What year of the late 90s did Mike Tyson bite Evander Holyfield's ear off?
97, 98, 99.
97, yes. What city is Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade held?
New York.
Yes. In which company manufactures Pentium chipsets?
Intel.
Yes. What layer in the atmosphere is responsible for filtering out solar radiation?
The atmosphere, ozone layer.
Yes. Which automaker sold a car model named Colt?
Dodge.
Yes. What is the second full moon in a month called?
Ugh, blue moon.
Yes. And Chris, you got a perfect 10.
Nice.
So, yeah. Oh, look at that. Now he's pumped up.
Nice work.
Yeah, look at that, BJ. Now you can get pumped up because maybe you'll get a song.
Okay.
You guys should bet Steve breakfast because he doesn't know that I got 10.
Yeah, you should do that. You can get breakfast and then go look at that money. Yeah.
But I usually bet you for breakfast.
Yeah, but you could bet Steve. Well, now it's ruined because Steve's in the room and you're just like Mr. Lowest Energy ever.
I am, but
Oh, God, pouty ass over there.
Hi, I'm in the room now.
Yeah.
Hi, Steve.
You don't need to call me though.
All right, hey, Steve.
No, you're not pouty ass.
What's
Steve.
up?
Would you like to bet breakfast?
Listen to this poker face over here.
It's a tough call, man.
Yeah, let's bet breakfast.
You know, I'm just going to have to pass. I mean, I'm willing to bet breakfast if I'm not paying.
Well, I'm sure you are.
I almost want breakfast. Actually,
Well, I ain't doing it
doesn't want
now.
breakfast?
You don't get nothing yet.
All right, fine.
All right, fair.
Hey, Steve, are you ready?
Oh, yeah!
Go.
In the video game of the same name, how many lines must one clear at one time to successfully achieve a Tetris?
Tetris.
No.
How many lines? 4.
Yes. What popular spirit can be made from potatoes?
Vodka.
Yes. The first episode of Supermarket Sweep aired in what decade?
60s.
Yes. How many months end in the letter R?
10.
No.
9.
No.
6.
No.
8.
No.
7.
No. What year in the late 90s did Mike Tyson bite Evander Holyfield's ear off?
98.
No.
99.
No.
97.
Yes. In what city is Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade held?
New York City.
Yes. Which company manufactures Pentium chipsets?
Dell.
No.
Apple.
No.
Microsoft.
No. What layer in the atmosphere is responsible for filtering out solar radiation?
Gas.
No.
The sun.
No.
Dirt.
No. Which automaker sold the car model named Colt?
45.
No.
Indianapolis.
No.
Peyton Manning.
No. And the wheels fell off. Steve, you lose 5-2, a perfect 10.
Oh, why'd I try?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the
Nice work,
job,
Chris.
Good job,
Thank
buddy.
you.
That was quick. You know what?
I get all the breakfast talk.
That was a beating. They were like the Patriots on that deal.
Yeah, and look at there, Mr. High Energy over there. You get to play yourself a song.
Yeah, I'm going to play a song. I will. Let me get my button over. I got to move my finger as quickly as possible. Here we go.
I think usually I regret these things, but can we get BJ some sugar or something?
Yes.
I don't think he
Cupcakes.
He probably wasn't listening to the beginning of the show.
Well, who? The Rev? He's here.
Who's listening to the show right now?
I mean, Steve, you and I had a conversation about how tired we are.
Oh, very tired.
Yeah, Rev wasn't listening.
Fake it a little bit.
I am faking it.
Yeah.
BJ's not.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm tired. You know me. I think a lot of people are feeling tired and depressed. I mean, I think I would have a little bit more energy had we won the game.
You sound like Russell Wilson after the game.
Yeah, I sound like Russell Wilson.
It's like you played the game yourself.
I'm trying
did.
Oh, here we go. Now you see? He pretends to be a sports fan, but really.
Oh, no. You know how he watched the game? He'd tune in every once in a while in between watching the Borat movie.
I did, but you know what? I stayed up and watched the ending of the game.
I love Rev, though. He's like, I turned it on. They were up 10-0. I'm like, cool, they're good. I'm like, that's not how Seahawks games work.
I know, but I ended up watching Borat in the middle of the game, came back after halftime, and we were still doing good, and then, things happened, but I watched the rest of the game.
I don't understand what your point is, and I'm very tired.
The problem is, we don't have cupcakes here.
Well, I brought cupcakes on Friday. BJ stole them, so I can't help you there.
No, we were supposed to someone was supposed to send us cupcakes. They never did. I'm very disappointed in them.
We were supposed to have
That was like
cupcakes?
a month ago.
Oh, wow.
I'm waiting every day. I hope that's today's going to be the day.
Oh,
and yet again, it's not the day.
So whomever's out there who's
Shame.
supposed to send... Yeah,
Shame.
exactly. Shame.
I forgot about that. Now I'm really depressed.
See, now you just reminded him, oh my God, Debbie Downer's even downer.
I got something to cheer you guys up.
What's that?
I watched a movie over the weekend.
Oh no, what did you watch?
It's a movie that on paper I should have never watched, and I loved it from beginning to end. Have you ever seen the J.J. Abrams movie Overlord?
No.
It's on Amazon Prime.
I don't think I know this movie.
Oh.
It's a high energy action film based in where they're fighting Nazis. I'm like, this doesn't sound like something that I'd really watch. Like, it's an old war movie from about World War II. We put it on. We're watching this movie, and as the movie goes on, spoiler alert, it takes the most drastic twist that I did not expect, and then I ended up watching a zombie movie.
What?
Dude, you need to watch this movie. At some point during the movie, it just feels like, okay, a run-of-the-mill high energy movie about people fighting Nazis, and you're getting invested in the characters. And it's a really kind of a fun, dumb action film in a sense.
All right.
And all of a sudden they like uncover this weird, like, underground scientist that's making like super Nazis or trying to. So at first you're like, did this really happen? Because you don't know yet that they're going to be like these weird zombie creatures. So I'm like, wow, man, maybe I need to watch more World War II movies. I'm learning about like stuff that I did not know that Hitler was doing.
That's always been a trope when it comes to at least the lore of the Nazis.
Yeah, that they were kind of delving into the
secret
occult
scientists.
stuff.
So it's basically Resident Evil meets World War II. That's what the movie Overlord is.
I am in.
Dude, you will love it. And honestly, like, there's a couple gory moments, but my wife and I were already invested. And then once it kind of twisted to zombie, I'm like, babe, we can turn it off. Like, I know this isn't your thing. She's like, well, let's just see how far we can make it.
Nice.
Finish the whole film, man.
Wow. How about you stayed awake for it, too?
That too.
That's unbelievable.
It was full of energy from the beginning to the end. I mean, it's not like, dude, the movie's not like the greatest movie of all time. Don't get me wrong. But, like, it's super fun.
That sounds amazing.
Highly recommend it. And
Overlord?
Overlord. It's on
Okay.
Amazon Prime. That's how we watch it. It's also on Hulu.
And J.J. Abrams, that guy's got a pedigree.
Yeah, right? I'm excited for this now.
Yeah, how about you?
I got some Halloween viewing.
Definitely you. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to try because I'm not a big zombie fan. The Walking Dead, I only watch that because...
either, man. I'm telling you, it's great.
Yeah, but see, I'm not a big World War II fan. So
I'm not either. That's the thing.
See, I know,
If
like
you said, Steve, you should watch this World War II movie that involves zombies. I'm like, go screw yourself. Why do you think I want to waste my time? I'd rather watch
he hates
Borat.
period pieces and stuff like that. Costumes.
But there's
and
the other
everything.
problem.
I recommended it.
That's what the
All right, next. All right,
that is 3 strikes.
Yeah.
So it says Overlord, an amazing movie.
What does the Rotten Tomatoes give it, Vicky?
I don't know. It did not do
Is
well.
Vicky tired too?
I was just trying to figure out who was in the movie, like anybody I
81%.
recognize.
81%?
Whoa.
For a
81%.
zombie movie?
It's a horror.
Was this
war
directly
movie.
released to Prime?
I think so.
It came out in 2018. No, I mean,
Oh,
Really?
Oh, it was a movie.
I don't even remember. This wasn't even on my radar.
Well, it got 81% critics, but 62% of the people liked it. So,
67.
Yeah,
That's still fresh.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember this movie.
I don't know when it says
Zombies.
box office only, but it made $41.7 million.
All right.
It's
So
not
it was
fantastic.
Well, it was a $38 million budget, so it made money.
All right, it made a couple bucks.
Not much.
Yeah, so I mean, horror movies aren't going to make a ton of money anyway, even with J.J. Abrams' name on it. But that's crazy.
Someone says, I
It's
can't
exciting.
believe you're just now seeing Overlord. It's a fantastic movie, and Steve's absolutely right. You think you're watching a World War II movie, and then all of a sudden, just bam, zombie fest.
Bam.
Wow.
I like that.
Nice take. Well, it's a nice take on both genres.
It's so
what,
well
Matt?
done.
Yeah, and I haven't seen a good zombie Nazi movie since Dead Snow, which is actually a movie, and it's fantastic as well.
And
so.
it is a zombie Nazi movie?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, see, I thought JJ might have been an originator, but no.
That's so funny. We just got a text us. You want to see another really good zombie movie that involves Nazis? Look up Dead Snow.
Yes, Dead Snow's amazing. You get to find out the elasticity of intestines, which is always good to know.
Okay, that's not going to put me in a good mood.
Apparently, Euron Greyjoy's in this movie from Game of Thrones. That jerk.
Really?
Yeah.
Also, someone says it has Fitz from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. It fits.
What, was that Dead Snow or this? Or
Overlord.
Overlord. Yeah.
Oh, so he got a few Brits to be in this.
See, look at that.
And they said Overlord's amazing, even better with 2 edibles.
Isn't everything better with 2 edibles?
Kind of, yeah.
I'll be like, it just threw me for a loop. Like, and even like you read the review like on the blurb, and it kind of gives it away. But I was just like, we got nothing else to watch. Like, there's nothing on. There's no new movies out. Like, let's just put this on and let's see what happens.
That is so great.
So good.
I just love when like somebody who hates zombie or doesn't even hate but just doesn't watch zombie
Zero
movies.
interest in zombie movies.
Yeah, is just like, no, this is good. It's a good zombie movie.
I would have lost so much money. If we started betting on, okay, let's put Steve in front of a movie. What do you think will happen? I would have lost so much money on that one.
You didn't fall asleep and you liked it.
Yeah. Then we tried The Gentleman, and then we realized about 20 minutes into it, we already watched that movie. So we're like, this is way too familiar.
So
how was it?
Was that our pool? Put Steve in front of a movie. Love, hate, already watched. Those are the 3 options we have to bet on.
Already watched halfway through realizing it.
You know what's a good movie? I remember the name of it, and I also remember the overall premise of it.
That's insane.
That's impressive. I'm not that kind of a movie guy.
J.J. Abrams really should feel very, very blessed and gifted and highly complimented by this.
It took me 2 years, but I figured it out.
Good job, buddy.
Congratulations.
Well, Even though Rev is, he's downer shaming me, I think we all have a reason to feel down. You're tired, and the Seahawks lost a tough one. Oh, man. Yep. So we're going to recap that whole game with sports radio great Mitch Levy. We'll talk Hawks at 7:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Spend less time in the laundry room and more time doing the things you love. Introducing the Samsung Smart Top-Load Laundry Pair, now available at Lowe's. The washer's large capacity means you can fit more in every load. Plus, its super speed setting washes a full load in only 28 minutes. Shop the smart washer that will streamline laundry day, backed by Lowe's Price Promise. Based on using super speed on a normal cycle with an 8-pound load, terms apply. See Lowe's.com/price promise for details. U.S. only.
Your home equity. It could be an untapped opportunity instead of an untouchable asset. Introducing HomeTap. HomeTap is an investor, not a lender. They give you cash in exchange for a share of your home's future value. Use it to pay off debt, make renovations, fund a business, or just live a better life. There's no interest or monthly payments to worry about. HomeTap. Get more from home ownership. Get more from life. Subject to eligibility, terms and conditions apply. Visit HomeTap.com to apply in minutes. That's HomeTap.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle.
All right, BJ, today it's not as awesome as it usually is to have our next guest on. As the Hawks suffered their first loss of the season, please welcome the host of Mitch Unfiltered podcast.
It's always awesome.
Mitch
It's
Levy.
always awesome. It's always awesome. Come on now.
Sorry, buddy.
It's always awesome.
You're not going to get any positivity out of me.
It would have been extra awesome, though, if they would have won that game at the end.
I'm the anti-Russell.
What can I tell you guys? You know, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. They've been playing close games with bad opponents all year, and you knew that it was going to catch up to them if they didn't start playing a little more defense. Mm-hmm. They put themselves in position every single week where Russell's got to be about perfect for them to win, and he wasn't perfect last night, and the result is a 37-34 loss. Sorry about that. Sorry, I have not better news to bring with you.
Yeah, well, the Cardinals weren't perfect either, so I was happy to see that. I felt like, okay, I feel like I know what that team's like, because you just, until you play a team, you go, all right, they look like they're good. People say they're good, but I don't know. I mean, they're playing similar opponents as we are, so how good are they? And they also made a lot of mistakes last night, too, so I felt like we could hang with them, but you're right, Mitch. I mean, it was not a good night for Russell, or maybe we give that defense of the Cardinals credit that they made the adjustments in the second half and made it more difficult for Russell to be amazing. I don't know. Either way, it was frustrating to have it go the way it went. But boy, those Cardinals also were not that. I mean, they made some dumb plays.
The Cardinals are the Cardinals. I mean, they are a flawed defensive team, although they got a pretty good secondary led by Patrick Peterson. And they're okay. They're good. They're 5-2 good. Yeah, they've beaten some bad teams. They've lost to some teams. I just think, this is about the Seahawks. Today's discussion is not about the Arizona Cardinals. We can make it about the Cardinals if you like, but it's about the Seahawks. It's about the flaws of the Seahawks. And the loss last night is, when you give up 37 points to a team, when you give up 360 yards passing, when you give up 5 yards a carry on 160 yards, the defense is the reason why they lost. However, I will say this. When we finished up the podcast, the 114th episode at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, just about 4 hours ago, 5 hours ago.
Damn, I drive. New today, by the way, MitchUnfiltered.com.
Yeah, it was released at 4:30 this morning, and we finished at about 2 o'clock in the morning. It's 2 hours and 42 minutes. I think it's a really good show, despite the fact that it's a different tenor. We're not talking about a win. We're talking about a loss. But my overall attitude, look, at the end, I mean, we can talk about anything we want to talk about, but the Seahawks defense isn't good enough. I mean, the Seahawks defense is not good enough. It hasn't been good enough. It's been good enough to win 5 games because the quarterback has been superhuman and the offense has been superhuman. But the defense is not good enough. The coaching staff, the defensive coaching staff is not good enough. However, if you want to move away from that for a second, my attitude, it's interesting. It's good and bad that we do this podcast like 30 minutes after the game ends. I mean, most of the time you're on sports radio, you have the night to digest it, or 12, 14 hours, whatever it is, 24 hours to digest it before you go on the radio. We do this show right after the final bell, right after the buzzer sounds. And my overall attitude last night, guys, was, yes, the defense is terrible. That's been a constant all year. But the Seahawks had the ball inside of 2 minutes to go, and they needed one more first down. One more first down, and the game is over.
Right.
And they run 3 running plays to the backup running back. No flies on Carlos Hyde. He's a nice player. He's a good player. But listen, the whole year we've been talking about how Schottenheimer and Carroll have changed their ways, and they've decided, you know what? We're putting the ball in Russell Wilson's hands. We're either going to win it or we're going to lose it with Russell Wilson. They've done that for 5 games. Even a couple of minutes earlier in that game, they were up 3, if you recall, and they had the ball at 4th and 2 at the 3 or 4 yard line. And instead of taking the 3 to put them up 6, they went for it on 4th down. They threw a low percentage play in the back of the end zone, and I don't know how he did it. Tyler Lockett caught the ball and got his feet in, right?
Right.
They even went for it and said, hey, no, we're not going to kick the field goal here. We're going to put the ball in number 3's hands and let him do something, either win it or lose it for us. They had acted upon that for 5 games and 58 and a half minutes. 5 games and 58 and a half minutes. That's all they did all year. And then suddenly, when they needed one more first down for 3 plays, they didn't give him the chance to make a play on first down. They didn't give him a chance to make a play on 2nd down, and they didn't give him a chance to make the play. They took the ball out of his hands at the very, very end when one first down would have salted the game away. So, yeah, is the defense at fault? Of course. The defense is terrible, and we can talk about that. They've got to do something here over the next few weeks, over the next 10 weeks to change the defense. But I was radically disappointed that after all the success this year of putting the ball in number 3's hands, they didn't do it in those final 3 plays, and they paid the price.
I'm glad you brought it up, because I remember I was texting with Danny last night about that, too. I just don't understand this. Like, you're just handing it to Carlos Hyde for all 3 of those plays, and I'm just like, what is that saying? Like, you dance with the person that you went to the dance with, or however it's said.
I like that line.
Well, I mean, why wouldn't you go and use Russell in those situations?
It's a funny question, and I can't get into the heads of Brian Schottenheimer or Pete Carroll. There's a few different possible answers to that. Number 1, they could have been just working the clock, and they've decided, okay, we're going to run it 3 times because we're going to give the Cardinals as little time as possible. But they were forgetting, if that was the answer, they were forgetting how bad their defense is. Okay,
right.
It's a reality. I think the better answer of the question is I don't think they went into those 3 plays deciding not to use Russell Wilson. If you explore those 3 plays, they give it to Carlos Hyde on first down. He gets 2, I believe, 1 or 2. Okay. They give it to him on 2nd down, and he gets 6 or 7. So now it's 3rd and 2. What we discussed on the podcast this morning is if he only gets 3 or 4 there. I mean, I think what did us in, believe it or not, was he got close enough to the first down marker on 2nd down with that 6 or 7 yard carry to make it 3rd and 2, and they thought to themselves, geez, he just got 6 or 7. Let's give it to him one more time. We can get the first down by just running the ball here. I think the down and distance changed the way they approach that. You'd have to ask Schottenheimer. I don't know if he'd ever answer. I don't know if he does media, but I think that's what happened. I think that 6 or 7 yard carry on 2nd down, if it were 2 or 3 yards, they would have thrown the ball on 3rd down. They would have given Russell a chance to make a play. But as it turns out, it didn't work out.
I think they've learned something because you've got conventional wisdom, Mitch, because the conventional wisdom is you always just run the ball. You don't want to give a chance to have make a turnover where they get better field position. And that's the problem, is that they don't have a good enough defense for conventional wisdom to be applied. I think they've got to look at Russell Wilson as your late game defense, which means let him keep the ball on the field as long as he can, any way he can, because your defense is not good enough to stop somebody like Murray. So don't rely on conventional wisdom for closing out a game. You have to go Russell's defense. He's our defense. That offense becomes our defense when you are trying to be in the last minutes of a game like that. And then
you belong on sports radio. You belong on sports radio, PJ. That's exactly right. I think right there on 3rd and 2, what the Cardinals are doing there is they're selling out to stop the run. What are they saying defensively? They're saying the game is on the line right here. This is it. I mean, that was the game. 3rd and 2. If he gets the first down on 3rd and 2, they can run out the clock. If they don't get the first down on 3rd and 2, they've got to punt the ball away. So what are the Cardinals are probably saying to themselves on 3rd and 2, okay, they just gashed us for 6 or 7 on the ground. We're going to gang up against the run, and we're going to hope that they run it, and we're going to stop the run. Right there is where you give Russell Wilson, the play action. He reaches you've seen it a billion times, right, Miggsy? He reaches the ball out to hand it off, and then he pulls it back, and then he can either run or throw something short to get the first down. We've seen it a billion times. And it probably works 700,000 of the billion, maybe 800,000 of the billion times. Let him make a decision. What the worst thing that could happen is he eats the ball, he doesn't get the first down, and you're in the same situation as you were with the failed run on 3rd and 2. And they just got to go down. Look, if they're going to lose these games 37-34, you want to be sitting here on your guys' show the next morning saying to yourself, okay, they lost, but they gave Wilson a chance, and they didn't give him a chance in those 3 plays.
That was a big mistake, because field position means nothing when your defense can't stop anybody. If they get enough time on the clock, then field position means nothing. And
that's exactly right.
It's a stupid question. Is there any way to fix this damn defense? Is it a coaching change?
It's not a stupid question. It's a question that we're all asking ourselves.
Is there a player they can pick up?
Well, let's first of all, I mean, you guys are not affiliated with the team some of the other radio stations in town,
right?
And you're not worried about what the team's reaction is going to be in terms of getting you guests like other radio stations in town. So let's call it what it is, okay? The brass tacks is this: their defensive coordinator is Ken Norton. He should have been replaced at the end of last year. There's just no question. In 9 out of 10 NFL cities, based on the performance of that defense last year and the previous year, he would have been replaced. We called for it on our podcast. Many called for it. Pete Carroll's biggest weakness, we should all have this as our biggest weakness, we would be better people than we are, is his loyalty. He loves Ken Norton. He loves his guys. And what we know about Ken Norton is his father was a great heavyweight. He was a great linebacker, won 1 million championships. He might have even been a good linebackers coach. But what is undeniable is that he's been a defensive coordinator, I think, for 6 years now, 3 in Oakland and 3 in Seattle. He's been a terrible his defenses have been bad every single year. And in this case, his defense is on a pace to be not just the worst defense in the NFL. The Seahawks are looking down the barrel of having statistically the historically worst defense in certain regards in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
They should have replaced him. Pete should have replaced him last year. He knows it. Deep down, he knows it. He didn't. And now you're in a position where you're kind of stuck. You're a 5-1 football team. Are you firing defensive coordinators coordinators in the middle of a season now at 5-1? He's your guy. So that's the first thing, Miggsy. They've got the wrong defensive coordinator. And I'll go one step further with you. BJ said something a couple of minutes ago that I think was smarter than even BJ knows it was.
Well, every once in a while, that clock, the broken clock, twice a day, buddy.
BJ said, maybe we should give credit to the Cardinals' defense. That game was played over 70 minutes of game time, right? 60 in regulation and 10 in overtime. Mm-hmm. And for the first 59, 60 minutes, neither team could get any kind of a pass rush. There were literally 0 sacks in the first 58, 60 minutes of that game.
It was crazy.
And the Cardinals defensive coordinator, I mean, he's lost his number one pass rusher, Chandler Jones. You remember him on New England.
Yeah.
He's one of the, in fact, he's got more sacks than anybody in the NFL in the last 4 or 5 years. Anybody. He's the number one sack guy. That's right. He's got more than Aaron Donald, whatever. So that he's not playing. He's out for the year. So what did the Cardinals defensive coordinator do really late in that game, not being able to get pressure on the quarterback? He started throwing against the wall. He decided, I got to do something. I'm gonna try this blitz. I'm gonna blitz Byron Murphy. I'm gonna do this unconventional thing. He just started doing things late in regulation and early in overtime. And what was the result? They finally started hitting Russell, right? They sacked him 2 times, and they got him on the ground, and they impacted the game when it needed to be impacted. And over on the other sideline, nothing from the defense, nothing from the defensive coordinator, no ingenuity, nothing. And so Kyler Murray plays the game. Here's a stat for you. The NFL keeps 2 main statistics when it comes to pass rush. They are sacks, which you and your audience know. There's something else called quarterback hits. It's a little bit of a gray area stat where if you hit the quarterback after or while he throws, they give you something called a quarterback hit instead of a sack if he gets the ball away. If you sack him, you get a sack. The Seahawks ran 82 offensive plays, I believe, over 70 minutes, okay? The Cardinals got 2 sacks, not a lot, and they got 9 quarterback hits. Okay, not great over 80 plays. You realize when you look at the official NFL stats this morning that the Cardinals had 81 offensive plays. The Seahawks got 0 sacks and 0 quarterback hits.
Yeah, that's important. That's very
important.
It's very important. You're right, Mitch, because
it's inept.
I didn't see anything.
It's absolutely inept. And so what? So let me go back to Miggs's question. What do we do? We're stuck. Well, for the first thing you do is you try to get Jamal Adams back, right? Once you get Jamal Adams back, and that could be as early as this week against the 49ers, you add the best safety in the NFL. You add the best pass rushing safety, believe it or not, in the NFL. You remember those first 2 or 3 games where he was running all over the place, making plays and getting. I mean, he had a couple of sacks, 2-3 sacks, even from the safety position. Mm-hmm. So, can he make a difference? Yes, I think he can make a difference. I think they'll be better as soon as he steps onto the field, especially if they don't lose more guys like Shaq Griffin and all these guys that they lost last night. So, is that though, Miggsy? Is that good enough? Is the addition of Jamal Adams healthy enough to make them a good enough defense to where you put it with the offense and they can be a Super Bowl champion team? I don't know. I don't think so. I think they've got to do something and become a little bit different and throw some things against the wall, and I just don't see it from their coaching staff. So I think that's the problem.
I have one question I want to ask you, Mitch, because I've never seen it before. Have you ever seen a field goal attempt end in a situation where there is a 15-yard personal conduct, foul penalty like that? I've never seen anything like that happen where the team kicks a field goal, but then again it gets called back and they end up getting 15 yards in the first down. I have never seen that kind of call.
You have. I have never seen it. You've seen it. You've not only seen that call.
I have.
You've seen that call by the Seahawks. The Seahawks have been called for that over the years. So here's the deal on that. The 15-yard penalty, so that rule has changed for player safety over the. Do you guys remember Cam Chancellor racing and running and jumping over the center at the field goal and blocking a field goal? You also remember Bobby Wagner doing it. Can you recall that?
Yes.
Well, 10 years ago, that was not a penalty, but what they've decided to do is they feel like the centers are at risk, at a safety risk, if players are jumping over them, landing on their
Mitch,
back.
How new is that rule? Because I agree with you, because you're right. I forgot about the fact that we're famous. Because here's what I would say.
They changed it for the Seahawks. I think they changed it because of the Seahawks did it better than anybody else.
So here's my other question. Then my other thing is, how the hell does a special teams player not realize the strategic importance of that? Let them get the damn field goal and do nothing at all to extend that drive, because you know how good good that team is. The defense were stalwart in stopping them and keeping the 3 points. That's exactly what we want would happen. How does a player who is so jacked up jump over the back of some dude knowing how severe of a penalty that can be?
I think you just answered it. He's jacked up. He's trying to make a play. Look, it was a bad play.
It's a horrible play.
Okay, but let's understand the play. As I read the rule, here's the rule. He is not taking a run. You can no longer take that running start that Cam Chancellor used to do and that Bobby Wagner do and time the snap and leap over the set. You can no longer do that. What you can do, I believe, is if you can jump over the center or the offensive lineman from a down position where he was, essentially from the defensive line, and not touch the offensive lineman's back. You can do that if you can pull that off. And so what he was trying to do essentially,
what a dumb play.
He's trying to jump over Benson Mayowa we're talking about. He's trying to jump over and the official saw contact made on the back of the offensive lineman, and he got called for the 15. It's a bad play.
Yeah, he's an idiot. He's an idiot. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't know. I think
I look at special team coaching on that and go, if you do not get that into that guy's skull to never ever do that in a situation like that, because that was the game. That was the game right there. I couldn't believe it. Why
do you say that? I mean, they were going to kick the field. They were going to kick the field goal and still be 7. They were going to score the 7 anyway.
Oh, they not. My attitude was no. They because they had to. They scored the field goal to tie the game. If they had to go all the way down the field to get 7. Or to win the game,
they don't
have time to do it. They kicked that field goal with no time on the clock.
Okay,
to tie the game.
Yes, but you're messing the math up here. The play that you're talking about, they're down 10 and it's 4th down. They're going to kick the field goal. There were still 2 minutes or more and 3 timeouts left for the Cardinals. They wasted a lot more of the clock once that 15-yard penalty was called and they brought their offense back on the field. They ran 2, 3, 4 plays and ran a lot of clock off and then scored the touchdown. So you're making an assumption that's not fair.
That's a good point.
To Benson Mayowa. They very well, especially with the Seahawks, we just talked about the 3 plays, right? The 3 plays and the punt.
Yeah.
If they kick the field goal there and they've got it's still beyond the 2-minute warning and they've got 3 timeouts and the Seahawks run three running plays there. In fact, maybe the Seahawks would not, because there would have been so much time on the clock and so many timeouts left for the Cardinals. Maybe that would have changed what the Seahawks did on offense, and they would have given Russell Wilson a chance, and then they would have got. If you want to make that argument, then I might be able to dance with you on that. But I am not. There's no way you can convince me 100% that they wouldn't have just done it in reverse. Kick the 3, stop the Seahawks, and come down and scored the 7 to tie the game.
Well, there is more. There is more about this as you get a very, very in-depth report with Mitch Levy's Mitch Unfiltered, where you can get it, where you can get all your podcasts, including MitchUnfiltered.com. New episode today. It's there. It's ready. And I'm hoping we're talking to you next week, Mitch. We got a win to talk about, but we got the next stretch of 3 games is going to be tough for us. And
4 games.
Yeah.
4 games. The next stretch of 4 games. Well, the Cardinals again in the 4th game.
I forgot about
the Cardinals
that.
again. This is 49ers again. I'll leave you with this. I know you guys got to. That's your key. That's my message to get off the line and let you do real stuff this morning.
That's right.
But I'll leave you with this. It's 49er week. It's always a special week. The Niners, after that disaster against my beloved Finns, have kind of corrected the ship. They played great yesterday. They played great the week earlier against the Rams, so they're better now. But it's here. I think it's here. Isn't it here? It's here.
Yes.
I lose track now with no crowds. It doesn't really matter where it is. But I'll just say this. The 49ers are missing perhaps their 3 best defensive players. Richard Sherman's not going to play. Dee Ford is not going to play. And Bosa is not going to play. Those are their 3 most impactful defensive players. The Seahawks, with the way they are operating on offense, even with Russell Wilson not having his best night last night, should be able to move the ball and score a lot on the 49ers. So if we can get just a little defense, just a little defense, they'll be 6-1, and you guys and Miggsy will introduce me next Monday as it's always great. It's always great to have my guy.
I hope we do that again. I miss those days.
MitchUnfiltered.com.
Yeah.
Go there, Mitch. We'll talk to you next Monday, brother.
Thank you.
All right. Have you guys ever wondered? Have you ever wondered what it would sound like if Mike Tyson was singing on an EDM track?
Every day.
Yeah. All right. Well, you're going to get your wish. You'll hear it at 7:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Here's another listener question. How do I rebuild my credit after filing bankruptcy?
You rebuild it, one creditor at a time by making your payments on time on your rent or your mortgage, by continuing to make car payments on a car that you keep during your case. You can also, as I said, you can almost always get a credit card almost immediately after filing bankruptcy. Sometimes it's a secured card, and it'll almost always have a really high interest rate on it. But you could get a small balance credit card and charge a tank of gas or a dinner once a month on that and make the payment, pay it off every month, and that'll help you build a credit history one creditor at a time, and will help you rebuild your credit over time.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at ChooseTheRightChapter.com. That's ChooseTheRightChapter.com. Thanks for listening.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Spend less time in the laundry room and more time doing the things you love. Introducing the Samsung Smart Top Load Laundry Pair, now available at Lowe's. The washer's large capacity means you can fit more in every load. Plus, its super speed setting washes a full load in only 28 minutes. Shop the smart washer that will streamline laundry day, backed by Lowe's Price Promise. Based on using super speed on a normal cycle with an 8-pound load. Terms apply. See Lowe's.com/price promise for details. U.S. only.